Hollywood actress Jennifer Aniston has had enough with the woke insanity that is plaguing our country, and she is out here to put a complete stop to it in the most epic way imaginable, where she completely obliterates the woke generation that is continuing to pervade in our country. And this is absolutely fantastic. So far too divided. Jennifer Aniston slams people offended by Friends. And of course, she is going after the TikTok generation, the generation that is probably taking little clips from the Friends show, posting it everywhere, being like, oh my gosh, look how terrible this show is. And this is the snowflake generation, the TikTok generation, whatever you want to call it. It's the people that are completely just way too sensitive and can't understand anything when it comes to comedy. And unfortunately, that is a generation that has been just growing more and more in our country. But let me just also say this before we jump into what she has to say here. I am by no means a fan of the show Friends, okay? I think that it's honestly kind of a terrible show in a lot of ways, super cringe. I never liked it when it was coming out, and I definitely don't like it now, and I just never have been a big fan of the show. But Jennifer Aniston slammed younger audiences who recently came forward with complaints about the hit sitcom Friends. And of course, what she is saying here is correct. There are things that were never intentional, and others, well, we should have thought it through, but I don't think there was a sensitivity like there is now. She's talking about like diversity, because there's apparently a lot of people who are upset about the lack of diversity, and also, you know, poking fun at different things that are now protected classes in our country. Aniston also cautioned younger audiences against evaluating Friends by modern standards of political correctness. There's a whole generation of people, kids, who are now going back to episodes of Friends and finding them offensive, Aniston said, according to Yahoo. Comedy has evolved, movies have evolved. Now, I definitely don't really agree with that. I think that what she's doing here is trying to kind of downplay the whole situation. Don't apologize for your comedy, okay? That is what the woke mob want more than anything, is to you to be subservient to them. And when you even give them an inch, they are going to take it a mile. But then she continues on by saying, now it's a little tricky because you have to be very careful, which makes it really hard for comedians, because the beauty of comedy is that we make fun of ourselves, make fun of life. It's not harder. You guys are just afraid to actually get out there and create funny stuff because you are afraid of the people that you're going to offend. And it's not harder for comedians. It's only harder if you make it hard for yourself. But then she says this: everybody needs funny. The world needs humor. We can't take ourselves too seriously, especially in the United States. Everyone is far too divided. And that is one of the beautiful things about comedy, is that it exposes a lot of the problems in a society. And that is exactly what people like Dave Chappelle have done, which is why he is getting canceled all the time when it comes to all sorts of different groups of people in our country. And unfortunately, that is a massive problem that we are dealing with. Comedy is the bastion of free speech, the last bastion of free speech. And that is why it is so important to defend comedy with everything that we got. And that is also why those who are in power, especially people who are in special classes and people who are in the government, absolutely can't stand it and want to demolish it. With that being said, let me know what you think about what Jennifer Aniston is saying here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.